Thank you to watch this video. In this video, I would like to share my experience in the last 3 months, how I prepare Luxembourgish exam from 0 to A2 oral speaking part. And we all know, passing the oral speaking part A2, it is passing the exam itself, regardless which mark you received from the listening. So, if you only have 3 months shortly, you need to focus on certain things and abandon certain parts. You might sound fluent, but you don't sound perfectly. But that doesn't matter, that examiners will pass you with the A2 level. In this video, we will achieve few objectives. First, how to prepare the exam. Second, how to build up a Luxembourg environment. And third, if in the exam you are missing some word, how you still sound confident and fluent. So let's start. So first of all, we all know that Luxembourgish exam is held by ENL institution. This book, which is published by ENL itself, is the best books for you. You can buy A1, A2 from any bookshops in Luxembourg, from Cora or Auchan, you can find it also. And then you have to download all the MP3 from ENL website itself. They will have the latest version, you download everything. You start listening during the bus, on the train, in your shower, or even when you're washing your face or when you're doing facial. Whenever you have a little bit free time, use it to listen Luxembourgish. By always listening Luxembourgish, you build up the environment and the nature to feel the Luxembourgish and to understand how they sound, to pronounce clearly also. In the first 2 months, you focus on the learning conversations, because from the book you have a lot of text, but you also have AB conversations, people talking each other. From the conversation, you can learn how people questioning each other, how people answering, how they convert a conversation, what is the starting point, and how a sentence structure looks like. You don't have really time to learn word by word, but you learn a completely full sentence, and it will help you sound fluent way more faster. And then, please do not waste the resource which is around you. You are in Luxembourg, the bank, the supermarket, and your working place, they all speak Luxembourgish. Please speak with them, be open, because you don't have that much time to waste anymore if you only prepare yourself for 3 months deadline for the sproochentest. Now here, I was using a way to practice those conversations by found a study partner. I have a friend who is also booked at exactly same time the exam with me. We use the conversation every day. At night, we prepared it at home. We learn everything by heart, or at least if you don't remember all the sentence, at least you read fluently. You read it fluently. You pronounce correctly. And then second day, when you face your friend, you read. You play A role and he playing B role, and then you switch again. You practice each other. So you put yourself into this conversation. You put yourself sounds like Luxembourgish. Conversation by conversation, you learning by doing. After 2 months, you about to finish at least A1 to A2.1 level. Found a learning partner is not only to practice together, but also it's a control for yourself. Because second day you need to face someone to do the conversation, to read together. So at the night before, you have to prepare yourself fully in order to read fluently, read clearly for the second day. You are not waiting on the second day, you just read in front of each other for half an hour, and that's a wasting of time and wasting your friend's time also. You both have to have the same objectives, same ambitions, and to help each other to grow together. And in this way, you will find it out that it works so smoothly and faster. Zu zwei am flot. That this sentence is also from the book itself. learning by doing. After 2 months the conversation practice, you might already reach chapter 4, chapter 5 of the A2 book. And then this is the time you start to analyze the exam itself. What exam looks like, what they gonna ask during the exam, because now you have some foundation from your practice from the small conversations. Now you analyze the exam. Most of the time it's a examiner doesn't know you at all. For you, she or him, it's a completely stranger. How a stranger normally can ask you your work, your family situation, your vacation, you're thinking about your future, how you spend the whole day, what's your hobby. So those kind of a general, very general topic, you can prepare a small presentation for yourself. And then by using each topic, you prepare at least 10 questions to question yourself and your study partner to learn and practicing. So for instance, you are playing the candidate and then she is playing the examiner, and then vice versa every day. And then you should understand that the oral speaking have the second part, which is describing a picture like this. Do not forget all the picture, you will always have people inside, always have people. You have to master the ENL book A2 chapter 4. Everything inside you have to master. How to describe a woman who is skinny, who is tall, how to say the clothes, how to say the shoes, how to say she's happy or she looks sad. Those sentences you have to master, and those are in the chapter 4. You will find everything. Remember this chapter by heart. You already control the part 2 of the exam. And so do not really worry about it. How to find those pictures? In the ENL website, you'll find at least 2 pictures. And for myself, I prepared myself at least 25 pictures. For instance, in the kitchen, in the bank, at work, in the airport, whatever you can think, there is a people, you can always use it. Because my exam is on the summertime, so I prepared also super photo. And during the exam, when the examiner asked me to choose the picture, I found the super photo also. So I just speak out whatever I prepared. If she really testing deeply, she will notice actually I'm not in the perfect level of the Luxembourgish. But since she is testing on the area, I'm fully prepared, so I sound more fluent than ever. You have to describe the people's, for instance, what are they wearing, the color, everything, and you also describe the background. Like they are in the kitchen, they are in the airport. You can also say the office look clean or the road looks crowded. Those words you should prepare yourself a little bit in different situations. So you use full months to only focus on the exams, pictures, and the speaking part. I believe you will be fully prepared, and there's no big rush or you need to be worried about it. If you in the exam only speak 3 minutes instead of the 5 minutes, and the examiner is waiting for your answer, like you didn't complete your full time to describe this picture, and the exam is like still listening and waiting for your answer, this moment what can you do? It's also very easy. You keep like a conversation with the examiner. You speak with her. You ask her questions. So you didn't reach the time, then you ask her, dat is alles filmers, wat mengst du? Is that alles aan de hand? Is that tip-top? Actually, this also do happen in my exam also, that I finished faster. I believe I described whatever I want, and I have no more want to say anymore. And I asked her, what next do? Then she said, please describe another person. Please describe this old person also. So I described one more person, and I reached the time. Everything goes faster. Do not just be silent, sitting there. Always say something. Talk with her. If in the first part also that you doesn't understand her conversation, you doesn't understand her words, you always ask, I don't understand it, ich verstehe nicht. Or please repeat. Can you please repeat? Just be freely talking like normal. And the reason why you should talking like normal is to always showing that you are confident and you're willing to learn Luxembourgish. You are dedicated for them. Examiners are very generous person. As long as you show your dedication, most of the time they're willing to give you the opportunity to pass the exam. And sometimes even you make mistakes, the grammar mistakes, or you feel yourself didn't use the perfect verb or the perfect conjugation of the verb when you convert a sentence. It doesn't matter. The examiners A2 level is about how you're understanding everything, and to make the other party also understand the Luxembourgish. It's not about you speak perfectly. Even until now, I don't speak perfectly, but with the passing exam, I feel more confident and I'm willing to learn more. If examiner give you a question, trying to answer more sentence. If she asks you what do you like to eat, you answer I like to eat vegetable. You're not waiting for her to ask you why vegetable, which specifically vegetable. You just directly speak, because I like greens, because vegetable is healthy and they are light. I don't feel tired if I eat a lot, and I can eat whenever I want. Those reasons that you believe, and you try to speak more than her, because if she leads the conversation, you might in the losing part that you lost the control of the conversation, and you cannot guarantee that everything she said you understand and you receive it. But you can control the conversation by you speak more and express yourself more, by letting her know that you can master this language and you have no problem to master it. You can continue explaining and let her ask a bit less. Actually, examiners are willing to listen, and they have patience to listen until you finish the whole sentence, the whole paragraph, and they will go to the second question, because they prepared their question for all the candidates exactly the same. So for them, it's regarding on how the candidate express themselves. So in the oral speaking, if you're missing one or two words that you definitely don't know how to use it in this moment, you speak English instead of the Luxembourgish itself, because otherwise your sentence will be break. So you have to put something inside in order to complete the sentence. Just to imagine that you are speaking a full sentence and then there is a word missing, and you cannot really fully complete this sentence. You will feel embarrassing and the conversation stop. The atmosphere changed also. The examiner will thinking and waiting, so the whole environment is not correct anymore. But if you confidently, just by putting an English word inside, 80% of the time, Luxembourgish in using the new word sounds really exactly like English or French. But of course, there are also sometimes they don't sound exactly. But this moment, if you put something inside, you make the sentence complete. And during the examining moment, you make this, and your conversation continue. Everything sounds fluent. You have confidence. The situation still under your control. So you didn't show any hesitation. I believe with those tips, you are able to easily pass the exam. But of course, the dedication and effort is still from your side. You have to work on it. You have to really to learn the conversations from the book by heart first, and then start to practice how to describe people. You are on the winning side, and I wish you all the best for the sproochentest, and viel Glück!